Hey folks, it's Dave here, and I'm going to do a couple of quick videos here on APBA football. I just want to show some people how I play, how I time the game, how I run defense, and the whole bit. Because I know there's been a lot of new players that have jumped into the stream that attempted to play this game, and some people actually have ordered it. So I wanted to show you kind of how I do things, okay? And I try to stay as close to the APBA rules as possible. Some I do, and some I might stray a little bit. But let me show you what I do that just works so well for me. Okay, and there's a lot of really terrific videos out there on APBA football. Not a ton though, but there's some, and the ones that are out there are fantastic. Okay, so you might want to check those out too. But I want to show you what I'm doing and just try to break it down and simplify it for anybody who might be new to the game. All right, so let me call up my spreadsheet here. All right, so first thing I'm gonna do is the timing of the game. What I do is it's basically common sense, and I use this timing for practically all of my full play-by-play football games, no matter what it is, unless the game has some really specific rules for whatever reason to that game that you need to adhere by. I kind of go with the common sense, where any running or passing plays that are inbounds are 30 seconds long, and anything that's incomplete, any kind of kick, a punt, field goal, kickoff, anything that goes out of bounds, any kind of penalty or any kind of score, anything that, when the play's over, the clock's not running, those I run 15-second plays. So I get 30-second plays and I get 15-second plays. And that's kind of what I do throughout the game. Anytime you call a timeout, it reduces that play to a 15-second play as well. Yeah, and there's some games you can really get in the nitty gritty. Again, if you take the snap and throw an incomplete pass, it's not 15 seconds usually. But at the same time, if you're doing a running play, you know, chances are it's going to use up a little bit more than 30 seconds by the time you snap the ball. So I think there's a little balance there. And again, it is a game, and you just try to keep it as close as possible. So what APBA does is they say 30 plays a quarter. But there are some half plays, and the half plays are what I talked about as far as the 15-second plays. So let me get to my spreadsheet here and just kind of walk you through what I do on my spreadsheet. Okay, so I use this little chart here um, that I kind of made for myself. I think Al Red Sox fan was using it too, and you can kind of modify this to whatever you need. But what I do is this. Okay, so it's the first quarter, right? It's 15 minutes on the clock. We're playing Oakland, Pittsburgh. So Oakland has the ball, and they're going to kick off from the 35-yard line. Okay, so that's the play. All right, so I roll my dice, and it's going to be a 60-yard kick to Swan. So let's just say Swan's going to return it. So I have a 60-yard kick that's going to put the ball at the 5. So that's kind of what I start with the result. Now let's say Swan returns at 25 yards. Right? So now that ball is going to be on 25 yards to the 30-yard line. And again, the score is nothing to absolutely nothing right now. So now my time on the clock is 14:45. So you can see that instead of counting plays, I count down by either 30 seconds or 15 seconds, and it kind of works out the same way. But I like to know what time is on the clock, and right now that's showing me that the exact time on the clock within reason. You know what I mean? All right. So now Pittsburgh has the ball, and it's 1st and 10, and they're on the Pittsburgh 30-yard line because that's what we determined what happened on the play. And this is kind of how I set up my sheet. Now, usually I'm writing it, and it's a lot more messy than this, but I thought I would show you on the spreadsheet what I do. So I'm going to go inside run to Franco Harris. And again, you can just see that I got my location, my play, and my player, and that's kind of how I do this. So Harris gets the ball, and I roll the dice, and he picks up 2 yards, right? Oh, now, first thing I do is get my defense. And I'm going to do a video on my defensive cards as well. So I get my defense, and it's BG. Right? Now Harris rolls the dice and he gets 2 yards. So you can put 2 or 2 yards, whatever you want to do. All righty. I don't bother with the score because it hasn't changed. All righty. So now it's the first quarter, and now 30 seconds come off the clock because it was a run and it was inbounds. So Pittsburgh ball, 2nd and 8 at the Pittsburgh 32-yard line. And now I call my next play. So now I'm going to call a short pass, and I'm going to go to Allworth. All righty. So I roll my dice, and I'm going to get a D for my defense. All righty. So I roll the play, and it's incomplete. Okay. So now I come down here, First quarter, that play took 15 seconds. Pittsburgh ball. It's now 3rd and 8 on the Pittsburgh 32. So now I'm going to go medium pass. I'm going to go to Swan, right? All right, so I roll my dice, and they're in a BD situation. And let's say I complete the pass, and he goes for, I don't know, 50 yards. All right, so I complete the pass, he goes for 50 yards. All right, so I come over here. That's 30 seconds off the clock. So now I'm at 13:30. Pittsburgh ball, they're 1st and 10. And if I get 50 yards, if my math is correct now, I'm at the Oakland 18-yard line. All righty. So now let's just say we go short pass to Blyer. I hope I'm spelling that right. All right. And now let's just say they're in a BS off defense. And let's just say I get 5 yards and he goes out of bounds. Okay. Come over here. First quarter. Now 15 seconds off the clock because he went out of bounds. Pittsburgh ball. And it's going to be 2nd and 5. I'm on the Oakland 13-yard line. And now I call my next play. And I'm going to go outside to Harris. Let's go outside to Harris. Again, this is just a demonstration. And they're going to call they're in AS on the defense. That's what I rolled. And Harris is going to go for 15 yards. And that's a touchdown. All right, so Harris gets the touchdown. All righty, and then I go and I roll for the point, and Jarella hits the point. It's good. And so now we have a 7-0 score change. Going to my kickoff. That play took 15 seconds because it was a score. Pittsburgh is now kicking off from their 35. Okay. And now we continue on with what I did. So that's how I pretty much do the timing in my game. As you can see, it's nice and clear here on the spreadsheet. My handwriting's a little bit messy when I do it, but that's what I do. Is I have my spreadsheet here, and if you'd like me, I can send it to you if you'd like. digitaltodice@yahoo.com to send me an email. I did put it in the APBA football forum. But that's how I do timing in this game. And I know exactly where I am, who has the ball, and what's going on. And I like to put in what defense was called in that result field because a lot of times I'm double checking my results and my rolls. And it's like, man, I don't want to forget anything. So if I call an outside run to Harris and the defense is AS, once I write that down, now if I forget, if something crazy happens and there's a fumble or a rare play or something, I never forget what was called and what the defense was. And that's kind of important when you do a play. So anyway, that's how I keep timing in most of my football games, whether it's APBA or anything else, is 30 seconds and 15 seconds. I did work in a little house rule that I'm experimenting with, whereas if I get late in the 3rd quarter or in the 4th quarter, if a team's got a pretty good lead and they're trying to just grind out the clock, if you go 3 plays in a row on a run and it's all in bounds, the 3rd play, instead of being 30 seconds, will be 45 seconds. And that just kind of simulates them just taking their time and grinding out the play clock, And so I will do that once in a while, that if I feel a team is just kind of running out the clock, that 3rd play, instead of 30 seconds, is 45. And that's only if it's 3 runs in a row and nothing's out of bounds, no incomplete passes in the whole bit. But anyway, that's kind of how we do it. Time. It's just kind of common sense. Clock runs 30 seconds. If the clock stops for any reason during the play, penalties, scores, out of bounds, then it's a 15-second play. And I find that I do pretty well with that I'll get, 30 to 40 plays, full plays, a quarter, if you will. And it works out, and I haven't noticed anything bad about it. And it's just a little bit different than APBA does, because APBA does, 30 plays and then half plays. And this is kind of the same thing, except I'm counting down with the clock using 30 seconds and 15 seconds. So anyway, I'm Dave, and that's how I do timing in my football games, and I hope this helped. Any questions, let me know. And again, if you like this spreadsheet that I'm using, just send me an email, digitaltodice@yahoo.com. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.